go. We're recording.
All right, welcome to another episode of the tutorial. If you came here to learn something, you have come to the wrong place.
Wow. We added things to the intro this time.
Yeah, it's called improv.
I added things to the intro last week too.
I don't have
I
the intro
talked about how it was
memorized.
a dumb intro because we
Just
do
work here.
teach people things.
I
All right,
just
so today we're
worked.
talking about battle royale games.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first ones that are going to come to people's minds are going to be Fortnite, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Apex Legends, and Call of Duty Warzone, seeing as those are the four most popular right now.
So
Yeah.
I've never played Fortnite. I've played like 5 minutes of PUBG. I've
I've
played
never played Fortnite. I've played the other
Apex.
three.
I played Apex a bit.
I played about 10 minutes of Apex because it was free, and I had friends who were playing it who were like, yeah, join. But just there was
Join the game. Join the
There's
game.
too many things going on with battle royale games where it's like we need to understand this mechanic, this mechanic, and this mechanic, and all these different characters have different abilities. And I understand how that's useful and it's cool. And it's nice. It gives like different niches for people to do. It's not my thing. I really deeply enjoyed PUBG though. Like I actually genuinely enjoyed.
So,
Well, PUBG.
so let me ask. Let me ask. What is it about PUBG that makes you enjoy that as opposed to enjoying Fortnite or whatever the fuck the other one you said was?
Well, the other one I said was Apex Legends.
Yeah.
And I've never played Fortnite. I know it's ridiculously overhyped. For a while, it was the most popular game on the planet. But PUBG, it's
Minecraft
very
overtook it as
simple.
it should.
It's the simplicity of PUBG. It's instead of you get to like because with Fortnite, I've watched people play it, and it's basically when you encounter somebody, the two of you immediately start building something to protect yourself from the other person, and it's basically whoever can outbuild the other person first, excuse me, and like gain the high ground, so to speak, is the one who's going to win because then you're going to be the one who starts shooting first, and it's just like, why wouldn't I just shoot the guy, or why wouldn't I just enter his structure, and just plow him down with the shotgun or whatever I have?
That's against the rules.
Oh, because that's not okay. That's not
It's
cool,
against
bro.
the culture. But with PUBG, it's just you will be airdropped into this area, which will slowly grow smaller. Your enemies. You're on your own after that. You find just gear. And the one thing I don't like is like the ultimate melee weapon is a frying pan, and I didn't like that joke in Tangled the movie, and I don't like that joke in anything else. Like I don't dig it.
I think it's funny.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, as somebody who has been in fisticuffs and people using, grabbing whatever's the nearest thing, a frying pan is not actually very useful for melee.
I wonder if a frying pan or like a pizza, like the pizza scoop that goes in the oven. I wonder which one of those, the pizza paddle. That's what it's called.
Pizza paddle.
Yeah, I wonder which one of those is actually
it's
more
one
effective.
of those pizza paddles that is like got a 2-foot long handle. I'd say the pizza paddle because you can swing that via the thin side and use that the same way that you would like an axe. You're
That's
obviously not
true.
gonna cut anybody with it, but you're gonna knock the fuck out of somebody with it.
It's
With
also
a frying pan, you have to do the same thing, but it's got a short handle. Like a wok would be better than a frying pan. They tend to have longer handles.
mhm. But if you loaded a frying pan into an RPG or
Well,
an RPG launcher anyway, I should say.
considering that on a rocket propelled grenade, it is the grenade that is rocket propelled, and the launcher is just the device that
Right, but
gives
if you
the
attach
tube through which propulsion can gain momentum. it's the actual ammunition that is not the propulsion system. So if you stuck a frying pan into the launcher, you'd click the button and nothing would happen because
But
it's a
if you
fucking
attached
frying pan.
rockets to the frying pan,
That's not really a frying pan anymore. It's a rocket propelled frying pan.
yes, and then it becomes like 1,000 times more fun.
Yeah, it also becomes incredibly unpredictable in its flight path because, like I
It's
was trying to
true.
say a minute ago, it is not aerodynamic at all.
Hmm. It's really not.
I was
I
going to say about
would
PUBG that I do think I agree with the simplicity of it. So the other what I can say is PUBG was not necessarily the first game to invent the idea of a battle royale mode, but it was the first game to execute it as just what it was. And
actually a good question. I'm gonna look that up.
other battle royale modes in other games, they always have some stick to it. So Apex is always squads of 3 or squads of 2. Um, in Fortnite, you have the building thing for it, and PUBG and Fortnite also both have squad modes as well. And I don't know what Warzone's shtick is. I have a couple friends who play Warzone and they want me to join, but I'm like, game costs $60. No, but the reality of it is that what PUBG was just that. Like the main mode of it was just you and 99 other people end up in a lobby, and you fly over the map. You have the only control you have is where you choose to airdrop, and if everybody else decides to airdrop where you do, get fucked. And I do appreciate that because one of the things I find terribly hard to master about Apex is the same thing I found terribly hard to master about League of Legends back when I used to play that, which was there's a million different characters and they all do different things, and I don't have room in my brain to the I don't know how Ringo sits here and goes like, all right, for this we're gonna use this character because it does this and it does that and yada yada yada. And he jumps here and there, and he's just so aware of what every character does. To be fair, there's only like 20
You've been playing the
characters
game for
in.
some time. If you sat down and played the game and
Hmm.
made it a point to like
It's
play
not
the game
interesting enough.
several
That's
hours
I'm just
every
gonna be
day,
blunt. It's
you
not
could get
interesting
there
enough.
pretty quickly.
Right. And
Um,
so,
it doesn't help that when I do play, I get like nuked instantly in
yeah,
99% of my
that
engagements. So
is
it's like, I mean, for me that's hugely discouraging. I'm just
that
like,
is
why?
pretty much my main issue with online multiplayer of any kind, where you have to play against strangers, because it's like the second I spawn in, I'm dead.
Never quite had that experience, but it's been pretty close. So I understand why you'd be turned off from that. And it's funny because the excuse that I got from people going back to like League of Legends, I'd be like, yeah, this was the experience I had, and the excuses people were like, oh well, if you were like playing on a friend's account, then you would have had there would have been like an expectation. Oh, I played on a new account, and
What kind of That's a
well,
bullshit. That's such bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, we expect you, the first time
well,
player,
we
to
expect you to
play on
be at a
your
certain
friend's
level because you
account.
have like an X amount of experience points, and it's like, okay, well, sometimes friends let their friends play. First of all,
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and then there's I wanted to compare it because we talked a couple weeks ago about Destiny. Um, I wanted to compare it to because I played extensively Destiny multiplayer,
isn't
and
Trials of
I didn't
Osiris kind of like a
feel.
battle royale?
Sorry.
Isn't Trials of Osiris kind of like a battle royale? I've never played
No,
it, so I don't know.
it's not. It's not set up that way. So the battle royale, the closest thing you have to that would be probably Apex because they do trios. Um, and the idea being, so in Trials of Osiris you have teams of 3, but it's not a battle royale where you get dumped into a map and everyone fights each other. In Trials, it's one team of 3 versus another team of 3, and the first 1 to 3 victories wins. and you do that 7 times. If you win enough. If you lose 3 times, then you have to start over at the beginning of your 7 win
Well,
situation.
that sounds
That's closer
annoying.
to a death match, like an elimination death match.
I mean, it's not annoying if you're on point and such, but I never am, so yeah, it's annoying.
Also, I don't have the time to keep up with the ever-changing meta.
It is frustrating because there's
That's
definitely to
another
be said,
thing.
like
To go
the
back
meta
to
does
PUBG.
change, but the other thing that's a problem with Trials of Osiris specifically, is that they let your power level dictate things, which they shouldn't.
Go back to PUBG. That was actually another thing. Is you get somebody who's got Scar 17 and somebody who's got an AK-47. They both have an equal chance of defeating one another. It relies primarily on skill, not on well, you got this weapon, therefore you win.
Yeah.
There's no BFG in PUBG.
See, I will say, I'd be slightly more willing to play PUBG probably than I would most other multiplayer games. Still probably wouldn't do it just cuz multiplayer and it sucks.
You're such a hermit.
Yeah, I really am. But the thing is, yeah,
Multiplayer, it sucks.
I'm literally the guy who, like, if I'm on an MMO, I'm by myself. I'm doing everything by myself, and I tell anyone who tells me to join a guild to fuck off because guilds are stupid and I don't want to be in one.
Yeah, like I'm kind of with you when it comes to MMOs. Like if I'm playing and like I end up alongside other people organically, and I make friends organically, but somebody just comes up and is like, "Join my guild." It's like, no, get the fuck out of here. It's the same as like when somebody comes knocking on their door, on your door, and is like, "Excuse me, do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" Like you're the Mormons of MMOs. Just like
Yeah,
knock it the fuck off.
I'm not interested in guilds because it's just like, oh, look, more people I don't know that I don't want to interact with. Fuck off.
You're such a hermit. Anyway, so while we were talking
Yeah.
about this, I actually looked up what would be the first thing that we would recognize as a battle royale, and the answer is amusing. It says the first true battle royale game outing or battle royale outing we'd recognize in terms of the contemporary genre was the Hunger Games inspired Minecraft survival games, which hit the scene in 2012.
As far as games goes, yeah.
The modded game setting for Minecraft,
That's funny.
which I find amusing.
Minecraft is the most influential game in the last decade.
Yep. That's why I found it amusing.
But I will say, Minecraft Hunger Games was fucking huge. People loved it.
Apparently, that's why Fortnite is a thing, is because Minecraft.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
So there's another one here called Firestorm, which is apparently a Battlefield game. So I'm assuming it's going to be pretty similar to Call of Duty Warzone, either of which I've played. But it's Call of Duty, and it's Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like, they're pretty much the same thing. And so,
Yep, it's
like,
Call of
just
Duty.
toss some COD mechanics onto
I was
your
gonna say, like,
default
I mean, you think about
Royale system, and there you go.
on top of the already existent problem of Call of Duty, you want to add to that the issues of Fortnite, PUBG, etc.
I think
Like
Fortnite's issue is
now you're
less
like,
to
now it's like
do with.
double, triple, quadruple sweat. So like,
Well, hang on. I think Fortnite, like as a game, I don't think Fortnite is incredibly bad. I do think the building aspect is kind of wonky, and it's like, well, why would you do that? It's probably just because they wanted to capitalize on the Minecraft kids. But what makes Fortnite bad, I think, is its constant pandering to pop culture, and it's like terrible attempts to influence culture once it realized it was popular enough that it had a chance of doing so.
um,
Like I mean, think about it. Like the Fortnite default dance meme is a meme for a reason.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like I don't think I dislike. I was gonna specify. It's never really that I dislike the game. It's usually that I dislike the community around a game
Mm.
when it comes to these multiplayer games.
Me, it's
So, for
mostly because I
example,
don't really have much to say about most of these other communities. I know some of the PUBG community because I play on one of the platforms, and I know of the Fortnite. So I imagine the Apex Legends community is largely people who have also or do also play Fortnite. So
I
it's Fortnite in particular's community that colors my opinion of other battle royale communities.
so the
I
only
go into a game with an expectation of, well, they're probably going to behave like this.
I don't know much about Apex. I do know a lot of the and here's where it's really going to bring out my nerd side, but a lot of the VTubers that I watch end up on playing Apex for some reason.
It's a really popular game.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's like they don't touch Fortnite or PUBG. They're all on Apex. It's just odd to me. It's like, why? What is it about
Well,
Apex
because
that
well,
the
I could
VTubers like so
PUBG had a
much?
guess.
lot of mechanical issues early on, so it didn't get the momentum it should have because it wasn't ready when it was released. Fortnite has that. It's that same like if you play Fortnite, it's like well you're locking yourself into a certain demographic, and that's going to be your audience whether you like it or not, and you've cut yourself
Hmm.
off
Yeah,
from most other
I say
audience
that's
because
that's
of
less of a whether the game is popular or not,
culture around Fortnite.
and
So they
more
play
about the
Apex because
fact
it's
that
like a safe Fortnite, basically.
yeah, by playing Fortnite you lock out certain people too, because it's like
Yeah, because
as soon as you go,
oh,
hey
Fortnite
man,
bad.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Fortnite. There's a whole subset of people, and
They're
it's
just
a good chance if
immediately
you've
go, all
done
right,
other
well, I'm
video
not watching
gaming,
that.
there's a good chunk of your audience that is this people that are gonna say, I'm not watching Fortnite shit, and if this guy's gonna become a Fortnite YouTuber, I'm out. Bye.
Hmm. I mean,
So that makes sense.
I don't watch Fortnite stuff. Let's see.
I will watch Fortnite memes, or I will watch when I don't mind. So here's what I should say: I don't mind any time watching somebody who thinks that they're the shit go in and like, oh, I'm so great at this, and this guy's garbage, and this guy's trash, or whatever, and they get absolutely destroyed or one shot or some crap. And
If
I don't care
somebody
what game it is in, I will watch that and laugh every
is
time.
it is something that has grown out of battle royales because it's like this culture of being superior has grown. But as soon as somebody says something like dog water, I'm out. Not watching you anymore.
What? Apparently, Fall Guys is considered a battle royale game.
I mean, it
I
technically
mean,
is.
it kind of is.
I absolutely can see how Fall Guys is a battle royale game. But it's not
It's
a
so much more
combat
fun than
battle
the other ones,
royale.
I
though.
was gonna say Fall Guys looks way more fun than any of those
Fall
other
Guys is
ones.
really fun. Fall Guys is really fun.
Well,
We I
so
have I
so
have Fall
Fall
Guys sitting
Guys
in the
doesn't care about being the best COD sniper. Like Fall
Oh,
Guys is
it's
very
just
much
get to
you
point
control a
A,
janky,
get to point
tough to
A
control thing.
within a certain number of people, and that certain number gets smaller and smaller every round until it's and the last guy, and you get there, then you win.
Right, that's
That's
just
how Fall Guys
yeah,
works.
that's just a tournament.
Yeah, that's what a battle royale is it's like an all at the same time tournament instead of a bracketeer tournament.
But anyway, yeah, that Fall Guys
Also,
and
you're not correct about how that works. You don't get back down to just you and another guy. Usually, what it is you have a round one, A round run tries to eliminate about 25% of the people, and then you continue, like, the different rounds try to eliminate more people, and you might play more or less rounds depending on how many people survive each round. Some rounds are really easy and a lot of people survive it without much of an issue, and you'll end up with more rounds sometimes because they'll do 2 or 3 of those easy rounds, and then the tougher rounds will get more people out of them. And then
Oh,
there will always be like there's like I think 3 or 4 final rounds. There's one that's called Fall Mountain where you climb up a really tough obstacle course, and whoever gets to the top first wins. There's one where it's like um you're dropped onto platforms, and the platforms only last a few seconds. Or rather, I should say, the platforms disappear as soon as you jump off the platform. So you're trying to like jump from platform to platform to platform, and staying on as high a level as you can for as long as possible, and then drop down to the next level below. Although you could also argue that there's a strategy to be said for dropping down a level or two, purposely deleting most of that level, and then dropping down another level, and making holes in areas so that when people from the higher levels drop and they don't get the chance to hit those levels in between, and they might fall and die. Things like that, and whoever's the last guy left jumping on stuff, he wins. And there's a couple others too, but I don't remember all of them. And usually you have like 10 to 20 people left in the lobby when those final rounds come around.
when I've been playing those easy rounds you mentioned, doesn't matter. The number of finalists is smaller every single round. So, like, if I start out with 44 people, only 30 of those 44 people will qualify. The next round, 20 of those 30 people will qualify. The next round, 10 of those 20 people will qualify.
Yeah, but then you have rounds like the memory round, right? Where it's where they show you like the fruits, and then you have to make sure you're standing on that. Sometimes you'll get a ton of people die in that round, and sometimes everyone's on fucking point, and you get like 2 people die in that round. And just that much. There's also the one where you can play where it's just like stuff coming at you, and you just have to dodge the stuff coming at you so it doesn't knock
Might
you off
be
the
like
platform.
a mode of Fallout, guys, that I haven't played.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, but not every single round has like a you can only have like 25 people beat this round or something like that. That's not that's not accurate to every round. Some of the rounds are just everybody's on this thing, everybody attempts to do this, and if everybody's on point, nobody dies. And there are a few rounds like that. There are a few. Basically, there are a few rounds that are timed. They only last so long, and once they last so long, they end. No matter how many people die, if it's a few or if it's a lot, and if only like one person dies in that round, you might get an extra round stuck in, and that extra round that'll get thrown in there is a round that is gonna say only so many of you may pass.
Hmm.
So, is by core mechanics battle royale.
The
Not so much a battle royale, unless you want to call it like a battle of skill rather than a battle of combat. But it is battle royale.
the other game that I
Hmm.
would say is at least
Glad you
battle
brought that up because
royale.
I didn't know that.
That's at least battle royale adjacent. That I think actually looks pretty fun, but have never actually played is Among Us.
How is
Eh,
that battle royale adjacent?
yeah, I would say adjacent at best.
Yeah, adjacent because it's a large group multiplayer, and you
Yeah, I guess
have
like it's kind of like Fall Guys in the sense of like
the
some of the core mechanics are
every
there.
round it gets smaller and smaller.
Instead of relying on skill, though, it relies on wit and
Yes, and
observation.
that's what I love is playing mental games with people.
I've actually
Then
never
that's
played
truly that
Among
is what
Us
Among Us
because
is,
I
because
don't know
like
how good of a liar I am.
if you, because I was gonna say one of the things that like I took heavy advantage of probably in my like um You can only really do this the first few times you play, because once you start figuring out some of the other stuff and like, oh, I can put a hat on or whatever, people expect you to know what the fuck you're doing. But a lot of the times, what I've found in Among Us is like, or I should say this works best with groups of friends, but when you're in randoms, nobody cares. Uh, is just you can be the guy who's like, I've never played this game before, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Um, what I will give Among Us is they have probably one of the most wholesome multiplayer communities, which I genuinely love.
Just
Because you have
ironic
a
as
guy who goes
hell
on,
because the entire game is premised on how good can you lie to each other.
and
You're
I
right.
think that's why though. If I can be honest, I think that's why though, because there's not a sense of toxicity. Let me tell you what my theorem on this is. So in something like Pub Night or
Night.
PUBG or Fortnite or whatever, um, oftentimes,
Oh
or
man.
let's say Apex, because I play Apex enough to know it better. You can blame your teammates for being garbage because you're playing in a team, and if your teammate goes down, then oh well, he's just a shit player for going down. It's very similar to how like in League of Legends, it's always my teammate's garbage. Like I know what I'm doing. If my teammate can't keep up, that's his fucking problem. In Among Us, it's very much like you have every individual person, unless you are playing as multiple imposters and you know who your teammate is, you
Right.
don't
Generally, it's
have
like
the guarantee of that.
who is my teammate?
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
You
so
can't
you know
blame
who
your
your
teammate if you don't know
teammate
who
is.
they are. You know,
Exactly. And so what I think is
I'm
great
pretty
about
sure
that,
you know who
and
your teammate is.
only if you're playing the
no, if you're an
imposter, though.
imposter, you know who your teammate is. If you're
Well, yeah,
not an
that's what I
imposter,
mean.
you don't
If you're
know.
playing the imposter, you know who the other imposter is.
Right, but if you're not,
Yes.
if you're just a crew member, who the fuck is your teammate? You don't know. Could be
Yeah,
anybody.
you don't know. Exactly. And I think what's one of the funnest bits regarding that is just like you look at you look at the community reaction to things, and one of the things that I judge harshly regarding that is how they treat people new to the thing. So are new to the game. So like you get on League of Legends and you happen to get popped in with a crew that has a little more experience, but you're new. The crew with a little more experience is like, oh god, fuck this guy who's new. Like, what the fuck, man? Why you want to pair us with this? If you're on Apex and you get paired with Apex is worse because it's more random. So if you get paired with people who are like really good at the game and you're not, they just act like you're an ass and you're an anchor that weighs their ass down and you're fucking stupid and quit and get off the game, bitch. You know, and Pub Night and Fort.
Pub night and
Pub
Fort
Night.
G.
Night
I'm
and
so
4G.
bad at that. Fortnite and PUBG is
Night and
is
4G.
that's the second time I've fucking done that shit. Fortnite and PUBG is like they're singular, and it's not necessarily that you're playing with a team, but the reaction when you lose is that other people are like, "Oh yeah, I beat you, you piece of shit, you suck."
That's
And
why I started
in
saying
Among
things like dog
Us,
water. That's become a popular one with
that attitude doesn't
Fortnite
exist. In
players,
Among Us,
particularly.
if you're new and you're like, and you and you're like, hey, like for example, there might be a guy who's brand new and he doesn't know the fucking mechanics of the game. He'd be like, hey, why can't I use the vents? And everyone's going, well, that means you're not the imposter. Why are you asking? Well, so and so went through the vent, and a lot of the times the imposter, rather than getting mad, will be like, it's cool, man. You didn't know better. Like, I mean, technically, you saw me go through the vents, so you would have beat me anyway. And then they'll just take the time to explain it, and at the end, like they'll just spend the time that they're doing the meeting explaining some of the stuff to the new character, the new person, so that they understand going forward in the future. You know
Mhm.
how everything works, and they get it. And then they'll just kick the imposter at the end of it, and the imposter will be super cool about like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not mad that you know
I mean,
ratted
that
me
might be
out.
your experience, but I doubt that that's universal.
I doubt it's universal too, but and it's not so much that that's my personal experience because I only ever play Among Us when I have enough friends to play Among Us with.
Which is why, incidentally, that I've never played Among Us.
I don't like the idea of going into a random lobby. I'm sure there's toxic ass players out there.
It's
And
funny
I know
you
that
say
there are
that
some.
because being the super
I
extrovert of the team, I have also not played Among Us because I also do not have any friends who play Among Us.
I was gonna say I know there's some toxicity.
Look,
So, like,
we clearly both have friends who don't play Among Us. Why aren't we playing Among Us
with each other?
Yeah, I think
because we've known each other for like fucking how old are you?
I'm about to be 27.
Well, the other thing is honestly,
we've known each other for like 27 years. How am I gonna lie to you?
And there's 3 of us.
You know all of my tells.
But I can't see your tells though.
All of my tells are audio.
That's
exactly what you need.
You have no faith in yourself. Also,
I don't think I'm that good of a liar.
Also, I think it may have to do with the fact that our sleep schedules are completely reversed.
I know, we're on a show together right now.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I slept a whopping 4 hours, and that's all I slept because my sleep schedule is nighttime. Or my sleep schedule, sorry, is I sleep during the day and I work during the night. So.
You're Batman.
But, I mean, so to be specific, I've had some experience with the randos in Among Us. And when it's not that there's no toxicity, but generally, what I find the toxic traits are, and I would argue they're far less toxic than most places. One is people are not patient enough for a lobby to fill up. A lot of the times people will jump from lobby to lobby to lobby. If you don't fill up in like 2 minutes, fuck you, I'm out. I'm going to another lobby. And half the time when they go to reload another lobby, they're coming back to your lobby because your lobby is the one that's open that has room for players. So it's like, dude, stop being a dick and just wait. But like, people don't want to, you know. They want to play the game, and I get that. I get that. So that I would say that's a less toxic trait because it's not so much about you guys as an issue as players. It's just I'm annoyed with the game that it's taking so long, you know. And then the other toxic trait I find is sometimes there'll be like 4 or 5 of us that are all together and we're all on a Discord call. And we've tried to be really nice about it, and we'll tell people, hey, the 5 of us are on a Discord call together. We're giving you that information like ahead of time to make sure you're aware, like that. Like we're a group of friends, and we're just trying to find more people to play the game with. We're not gonna be assholes. We're not here to like safeguard secrets or whatever. We'll type everything we're saying in chat. And we do that because we want to find more people to play with. But some people just be like cheaters, and then they leave, and I imagine that there probably is a group of people who use Discord calls or whatever to cheat, and that has created a response, that subgroup who's just like, no, Discord's a bunch of cheaters, fuck off, I'm not playing with you, you know. Which
and
is sad.
That's their prerogative, but like, yeah, it's one of those like that is their, you know, that's their going like, oh well, this was my experience with this community, and it's bad, so I'm not gonna, you know.
Yeah. I think that really describes most of the opinions we have here of Battle Royale.
And I haven't really talked about Apex much because I haven't actually played Apex, so that's a Battle Royale game I do have stuff I can talk about.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where I am with PUBG. I put the most time out of the big popular ones in PUBG. I really honestly tried to play Call of Duty Warzone because I genuinely enjoyed Call of Duty, like the Modern Warfare series and whatnot. But it takes up by itself more than a quarter of my PlayStation's entire memory.
Oh boy,
I like need that for other things.
That was my problem with Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is like 120 something gigabytes out of my 500 gigabyte hard drive, and I just didn't have room for other things. And that was just another way in which it dominated my gaming life when I played it, and
by
it's just
not
like,
allowing you to have any other games.
It takes up so much space. I don't have any more space for Rad Dad Redemption.
dude, if I had, because if you have
Rad
like Red
Dad
Dead Redemption
Redemption.
and Destiny 2,
Rat.
that's it.
That's
That's your
you
whole hard
heard. You
drive. You're
heard
not
me
allowed to
right.
have other games.
You heard me exactly right, Zeta. Rad Dad
I
Redemption.
don't. If you say
um,
so, I guess.
That is that. That's literally what I said. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't play much PUBG, but I do remember like what I can say to PUBG. I watched a lot of people play PUBG on YouTube when it was popular. And what
Hmm.
I can say to that is it does definitely feel like PUBG is the game that feels it's more about the level of skill and knowledge of the equipment that you have. Meaning that you know, so like a lot of the times when you play Fortnite, it's more a feeling of like who got lucky and happened to get the rare drop, because that dude's gonna nail you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, if there are, what I will say about Apex is that there's a system through which the longer you survive, your armor kind of passively can upgrade. And so if you survive long enough, you can go into a fight with near uncrackable armor. Um, and I've won a few games that way. Uh, but in PUBG, it very much feels like you have nothing. You drop somewhere, and it's a scramble of, oh shit, is there like a little village, a little group of buildings, somewhere that I can check for shit? And you get there, and you just hope you get good shit, which is true. But there's less of a sense that like, because nothing except a sniper rifle one shots you in PUBG. But PUBG is not an easy game to snipe with, or at least that's been my experience. So I feel it's fairly balanced in that area. So like, but in Apex there are guns that'll just like instant down you, and if someone's if someone's lucky enough to get a wingman, or I fucking forget the name of the shotgun, but it's basically an AA-12. And in either case, a wingman is a pistol that shoots forever and one shots you no matter where you are on the map if it hits you. But like,
Range infinite.
yeah, that's pretty much the in my opinion, that's like the it's not that it's actually infinite range, but it has a very 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 long range. It's the Halo God pistol imported
I
into
see.
a yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sniper rifle in the first Halo game was kind of like that too, though.
He's got the Halo
Well,
1 pistol.
I was gonna say, to be fair with the wingmen, the difference being you have to hit your target, and it's not easy to hit your target with the God pistol. But just because
I
like people run
disagree.
around, and I'm not good at leading
Strongly
targets
disagree with
personally,
that sentiment.
which is why I find games like Apex difficult. But I think it's funny actually because I'm fine at leading targets in real life, but not in a game.
A humble flex over here.
Well,
I mean, I should specify. I'm not like out hunting animals and people. I go to a fucking range and I shoot a moving target.
well, of all the games that you have mentioned, I've played none of them.
Well, I kind of expected that because battle royale is all gonna be
yeah. It's all
It's all going to
multiplayer, and
be
you don't do
your
multiplayer.
kryptonite.
yeah. That's one of the things. I mean,
But have you like watched any of it? Because I feel like even if you
I've
watched some of it,
watched
you'd be able to commentate a little bit.
I've watched Among Us, and that's been fun to watch. Um, a very little bit of, well, like little tiny little bits of PUBG and Apex and Fall Guys that I've seen, but I mean like 2-minute clips.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, watching someone play Apex is not fun to me. I don't know why, because I don't mind watching people play PUBG or even Fortnite. As far as like, I don't find that to be. I want to engage with Fortnite generally because I'm one of those guys, but like, I don't actually find the content to be not entertaining. I just, in Fortnite's case, it's just I don't want to be wrapped up in the community that is Fortnite, and in PUBG, it's just no one really plays it and does much with it anymore. At least it doesn't seem that way to me. I don't get recommended any PUBG videos anymore, so I'm assuming it's lost its popularity quite a bit, at least on YouTube. But I didn't mind either of those games back when they first started becoming popular. They were fun to watch. Apex isn't. I don't know why. I wouldn't be able to tell you or quantify like what about watching an Apex video makes it less entertaining to me. I honestly don't know. I
because
just don't find it entertaining.
it's uh okay, a weird way to describe it, but Apex from what I've seen is like really mushy. Like, so whereas how do I put this? Whereas PUBG is very much, you know, this is a little bit more serious, you know. You've got to know your skills and know your equipment and be kind of be good at the game to get places. And Fortnite is very much like for the lulz.
Sweaty. Yeah,
A-
well that too. Yeah.
Apex is that weird like mushy middle ground where they try to be like, lol, our game's got personality, but we're actually just trying to be Halo, and it doesn't come off very well.
You
What do you
know,
mean they're
I
just trying
do
to be
get a little bit
Halo?
of that feeling.
I would like you
They
to
do have
explain
some
that to me.
Halo-esque stuff going on,
because
to be fair.
because unlike in PUBG where it's, you know, it's like you're a dude with a gun, and even in Fortnite it's, well, there are some sci-fi elements to it. It's mostly just you're a dude with a gun. Apex isn't that. Apex is like, look at this sci-fi future space tech.
Oh, because Apex takes place in the Titanfall universe.
I was gonna say, because there
For
is
some
something to
reason,
be
there's
said
no
about that.
Titans.
There is tech and whatnot, but it depends. And like for me, I haven't played a lot of the different characters because another thing is they pay gate over half their characters, which I shouldn't necessarily say pay gate because if you played the game enough, you'd unlock them without having to pay for them. But I don't. But of the players of the characters that I have played, to be fair, they do have their like each individual one has a gimmick, and I get where that idea comes from. So you have
Electronic
like
Arts.
Gibraltar, which everyone calls Gibby, and so you'll see like when people are doing stuff, you'll hear you might hear your teammates say like, "Oh shit, they got a Gibby." And one of the main things that Gibby does is he makes like this big. Well, he's a Titan, Defender Titan from Destiny. He makes a big bubble for everybody to sit in and not get killed. And I have found that that's one of the easiest roles for me to play whenever I'm playing with
Yeah, because it's an ability you're
Ringo
used to.
and one of his friends, because the two, him and I forget if it's Ivan or something like that, but one of his friends is and himself are both very good at killing people in that game. And so I find that the two characters that I end up playing most of the time are either Lifeline or Gibraltar, because Gibraltar provides them with a big shield that they can hide in for a while, and Lifeline provides them with, if they get downed, I just sort of run up to them, hit the heal button, and then go hide in a corner where I'm not gonna get shot, and then they get right back up and back into the fray. And usually that's how I end up playing, is just as a support character to them, because I'm really bad at leading my targets and shooting the enemy. And the rare occasion when I do, I'm like, guys, I killed one.
Oh my god, have you guys ever heard of Anthem?
Yeah, he plays it on the regular.
Anthem was supposed to be the Destiny killer and fucking failed horribly
Yeah,
because
because
it was garbage.
they released nothing. The big empty nothing.
They released a game with no world. They released an open world game without an open world.
With no world that was open.
Mm-hmm.
It was open, there was nothing in it.
Because I remember that their big thing with Anthem was like, oh my god, guys, it's BioWare, it's gonna be amazing.
But it
Which for
fucking
anybody that
wasn't because they didn't
I was
try.
so upset by that because BioWare is a good.
I was gonna say, for
group.
anybody that doesn't know,
makes
BioWare,
good shit.
they make Mass Effect and they make Dragon Age, which are
Dragon
both.
Age.
I was gonna say Dragon
both
Fable.
game series I enjoyed immensely.
Yeah. So when somebody, when they're like, "Hey, here's this like MMO type multiplayer game that we're building," people are like, "Oh, this is gonna be super good," and then apparently
it's gonna be
fucking
sick.
wasn't for some reason.
Apparently, it just wasn't happening.
They just didn't make a game.
Well, I wouldn't say that. They made a game. They just didn't make enough of a game. So the idea behind Anthem, straight up, was to be the Destiny killer. So, like, Destiny is pretty much the only successful. I'd say it's Destiny, Elder Scrolls Online, and Final Fantasy XIV are the only successful MMOs on like PlayStation, Xbox. You might call Monster Hunter an MMO, but I don't because you can only ever have 4 people in a hunt at most. And you're not in a world where everyone's running around the same world where you can encounter people in the open world. That doesn't exist in Monster Hunter, but you can randomly run into people when you throw out SOS flares or post quests in an open forum. That being said, I don't really think of Monster Hunter as an MMO, but of the 3 MMOs that are operating, Destiny by far has the biggest player base. And of course, and at the time Anthem came out, Final Fantasy XIV wasn't quite out yet, and Elder Scrolls Online had gone through the, hey guys, the next big Elder Scrolls game, and oh, this sucks, we don't want to play it phase.
Yeah.
and it had dipped hard. Like, at this point, it's come back up a little bit and sort of plateaued off. But at the time, we didn't really have Final Fantasy XIV, and ESO had dumped, like hardcore dumped. So then you have this game that comes out. Oh, I shouldn't say that. What there is Warframe is the other big one, but that's another
Warframe. Warframe.
But anyway, the point being, Warframe was smart. Warframe knew their scope, and they just said, "Hey, we're making this, guys. If you like the kind of thing, come check it out. And if you don't like it, don't worry about it. If you like it, play it." And they didn't make a big ad campaign about it. But the problem is, BioWare partnered with another big company that I don't remember which, and they advertised the fuck out of Anthem. They were like, "This is the game that will kill Destiny." It's
Dave,
that good.
It was EA they partnered with.
EA.
Yeah, well, that was
that makes sense.
Yeah,
because EA versus Activision at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it any surprise that Activision won out over EA? Really?
No, not at all.
When Activision was behind games like Battlezone 2, no, it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Versus EA being behind games like, I literally won't let you play this unless you buy our exclusive version.
Oh, you mean Battlefront 2? That's what you're talking about. Battlezone 2 is great. Don't fucking...
No, Battlezone 2 was
no,
Activision.
That's what I meant. Battlezone 2 was produced by Activision.
It was Activision, yeah.
You said EA, I thought. But okay.
No, he said Activision.
Well, I'm pretty sure Battlefront 2 was also by... Not the new one, the old ones was by Activision.
Yeah,
the new ones are by EA.
I'm gonna look.
No, the new ones are by EA. I'm pretty sure the old ones were by Activision.
Hang on.
But yeah, so that was the thing. So what happened is they advertised the fuck out of it. And so, of course, people who played Destiny were excited to see a genuine competitor in the market, because they wanted to see, like, I mean, let's be honest. Destiny was huge. It had a huge grimdark world. If you were interested in lore, there was a massive world of lore to get yourself lost in. If you weren't interested in lore, they had a legitimately competitive multiplayer scene that people enjoyed. Destiny was brilliant in that it captured like the three major genres of gaming. That's why they have such a huge player base, because you have the player versus environment element that feels a little bit like it's objective based, but I get the same rush, the same feeling of playing that as when I play like Call of Duty Zombies. I enjoy Call of Duty Zombies. I don't really enjoy Call of Duty like story play that
Which is
much,
funny
if that
because I'm
makes
the
sense.
opposite. I'm not really a big fan of zombies. To
Yeah.
interrupt you really quick, I looked it up. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was produced by LucasArts and Pandemic, and
Yeah,
Pandemic is
Pandemic.
owned by Activision. Pandemic was also on Battlezone 2, so it's the
They
exact same point
were.
still.
Hmm.
Oh, we're talking about the old ones or the new ones?
The
The
old
classic
ones.
ones,
The
the old
classic
ones,
ones,
to
yeah.
the 2000 aughts.
I didn't say, because I can't imagine that those guys are behind the new ones.
No, it was Suck Your
Garbage.
Wallet Dry EA that was behind those ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
pretty
it
sure
was sense of
EA
accomplishment
was.
and paywalls. EA.
Yeah, EA. This is EA's business model. EA's business model is everything is microtransactions. You have to give us money if you want anything, unless you're playing NBA 2K. Then God bless you. We'll give it to you. We'll give you everything for free.
Yeah. We need to do need to talk about sports games at some point.
Yeah.
That's a big ass side of gaming that none of us have ever even gone near.
Mm,
Let alone play.
I mean,
a little bit.
I mean,
I was gonna
Dag,
say, like, it's not that I've
you
never
got
played a
like
sport
Madden
game, but
2005
sport
or
games
something.
are fucking confusing to me. I
It,
can't
I
get
guess it
behind them.
depends really on what you consider sports games, but
Like the
Does Rocket
Madden
League count as a
series, the
sport game?
NBA series, games like that.
I
FIFA.
have I believe it or not, I've played some Madden.
Yeah, so alive.
Interesting.
Because back when we had the N64, Dad had us a Madden game. I very quickly decided that that was not my kind of game.
I do think it's pretty boring.
Would
I
much
want to
rather
jump
just
back
go
really
play the
quick
sport.
on Anthem, not to try to not to try to like railroad us in one direction, but I did have a point I
Hmm.
was going to, and
Zeta.
just kind of came in and now we had to fucking bleep that out.
Hmm.
Just came in and derailed that entire point in the middle of it.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Um,
what were you getting
so
at?
what I was gonna say is so Destiny. What made Destiny good was they built they built their multiplayer is in the game, but separate enough from the rest of the game that the people who are all about that competitive multiplayer could come play over here, and they only dip into PvE when they need to, or if they want a specific gun that they like or something. And it gives them an outlet to do that without having to necessarily deal with a week of going up against someone who's just as good as them, and whether they intend or not, they're gating them from being able to get that gun. But then there's also guns or ritual guns that you could get in Crucible that do get gated that way, and so the people who enjoy PvP, they get that entire full experience of a PvP centric game in that little corner of Destiny. And then you have this big chunk of Destiny that's all PvE, and it's separated into enough different things that it doesn't feel stale and old when you're jumping between the different stuff. And people who don't really want to involve themselves in PvP really don't have to. They could just go enjoy the cooperative bits, and they can go enjoy the single player bits and not really give a fuck about like getting competitive with people. And then of course you have the lore element of it, and the fact that they so beautifully wove so much lore. I know we talked like nothing but vitriol about Destiny the last time,
Hmm.
but in reality, they did build a wonderful world to play in, and they were very smart in how they created their game.
They
So
just have
when
been really
Anthem
dumb
said
about business practices. But yeah, go on.
they've been really dumb about business practices more recently. That's
Mhm.
why we were mad,
Yep.
because we invested in this thing from like 5-6 years ago that was amazing, and now it's like kind of shite. Um, or we feel that it's fallen hard from glory.
These new kids, this new management sucks. They're not doing anything the same way as
It's not
before.
really even that the new management sucks. It's just I get what they're doing.
You're like
definitely a
I
sense that they
understand
are.
the problem. I understand
I
why
understand the problem.
why
I
they've
don't
reached
like their
this solution to the
problem.
problem, but
Yes.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that's really what it comes to. You know, and it's, just so we're clear, I understand also that part of this problem is them becoming an independent group means that they're trying to find the best ways to make sure they can do that, still maintain their creative control, and not get fucked in the ass by a bigger corporate company that pulls some shit like Activision, where they're like, we don't feel like paying him enough, and
That was EA,
nuking
sir.
one of their top fucking characters.
I'm pretty sure that was EA.
No, that was Activision.
Mm.
So I don't know if we talked about this on the Destiny. I think we did. The Nathan Fillion situation.
Yeah.
Activision told Nathan Fillion they didn't want to pay him his normal amount. And when he said, pay me my normal amount or I'll walk, they said, bitch, you won't. And then they vengefully forced him out of Destiny forever, basically, because of that. And Bungie was pissed because he played one of their most central and important characters, and they had to rewrite literally entire sections of story they had already created because they had to get rid of him, because Activision basically said, we're the ones who pay your paycheck, you kill that character now. Which is why Bungie is so like dead ass set on being independent now.
Well, it's funny. I don't want to keep making this more and more about Destiny. Like we keep going back to Destiny, but like Bungie is just so black-pilled
Battle
now.
Royale today.
Yeah.
I think about Bungie back when they were like in their prime and they made Halo 2 and Halo 3 versus now. They're like so fucking black-pilled. It's like not even the same people anymore.
They're so fucking what?
Black-pilled. Doom and gloom.
Mm-hmm.
And like we can't trust anybody but ourselves, kind of.
Well, I mean, they got fucked in the ass by Microsoft.
And they got fucked by Activision.
Do this to you. And then they got fucked in the ass by Activision. So, like, yeah, I don't blame them for being like, no, big companies are not trustworthy. Big companies will dick you over as soon as something is.
The problem with them as a company is that salt comes out on the players.
It does. I don't think they intend for it to, but I'm not above saying I think Bungie's just kind of going through a time right now.
Oh dear Bungie, please give us another good story expansion. Here's some fucking salt. Have some salt. Did you want salt? Here's a fucking pound of salt.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, I don't want to keep hammering away at Destiny. Like we already had our Destiny episode. Yeah. If we want to have another Destiny episode, we can do that another time. Battle Royales. I don't know. I've said pretty much everything I have to say on Battle Royales. Some of them are good. Some of them are not good. The whole genre overall is kind of meh. And yeah. I'm not saying for me on the subject.
I mean, yeah, pretty much same. I don't really touch battle royales because it's all multiplayer, and multiplayer is just horrible.
Yes, we know. Here is an untrusting hermit.
I was interested in Fortnite.
I really am,
because the way Fortnite was telling its story, I found super interesting. Pulling in.
I'm sorry. Fortnite has a story.
Yeah, they have a story.
They have a whole ARG, bro.
So hold on. Just so we're clear, Do you recall when Thanos became a playable character for a little while in Fortnite?
I remember the memes.
There
I never
was an
played it.
actual, genuine story reason why Thanos ended up in that universe. And that was actually a willingly made crossover between the Marvel universe as a whole and the Fortnite
Yeah, of course it was a
universe.
willingly made crossover. They're marketable. It's
Yeah.
money. Why do you think
Mhm.
they've
Yeah.
also had the Avengers and the X-Men?
But I mean, they actually wrote something
Free
that made
money.
sense. The story made sense why this character showed up there, and true to form, I'm sorry. I've always said Thanos, so I'm just gonna say Thanos.
Thanos, because I'm from the Great White Yankee Land.
Thanos.
But
Thanos.
there you go, Thanos. Get them thick thighs, boy. But
I mean, he do have some meaty.
Come here, boy.
Available
Have a slap on my meaty thighs,
if you
boy.
didn't get him as a character when he was available, you couldn't keep getting him as a character. And while normally I super hate it when they do that, I can't be mad at them for this one because it wouldn't make sense for Thanos to just stay in that universe. And Thanos kind of had an attitude of like, this is not my universe, so I should not be trying to eliminate half of all life here. It's not my.
I just want to say it physically hurts every time you say Thanos.
Then I'm gonna keep saying Thanos, bitch. We can disagree on this. I know how much you disagree on this. I called him Thanos back when I found out that he existed at the end
Literally
of
every
Marvel
single
versus
official
Capcom.
source ever calls him Thanos.
Marvel superheroes
How
fighting.
hard is it to just say Thanos?
What is the
You
difference
just said
in
Thanos.
Yeah, what the fuck is the difference in what you two are saying right now? Dave's over here like, yeah, I've called him Thanos since the beginning, and Zeta's like, he's supposed to be called Thanos.
No. He's saying Thanos, like train. I'm saying Thanos, like pancake.
Like tacos on a corn tortilla.
Hey, Editor Beard here. I feel like it would be absolutely remiss if I didn't just point out real quick.
I just want to say it physically hurts every time you say Thanos.
Then I'm gonna keep saying Thanos, bitch.
And then literally, like 10 seconds later,
at the end
literally
of
every
Marvel
single
versus
official
Capcom.
source ever calls him Thanos.
So he literally said Thanos and then Thanos, like some sort of righteous crazy person. Past me was not wrong. I was right the whole time. Well then fuck it. I'll just keep saying Thanos just to fuck with you.
Here's the thing.
So it's
I'm just gonna have to say I'm sorry about this, but it's tomato. I learned his name is Thanos.
Yeah,
Thanos
but the difference is that somebody's name.
Thanos is how I was taught to say
it's
it.
a proper noun.
And I said
tomato, a proper noun.
Years that way. He's a fictional character. There's not a real person.
It's still a proper noun.
If there was a real person named Thanos and I pronounced their name Thanos and they said, I'm really sorry, but my name is Thanos, and I'd really appreciate it if you did not mispronounce my name. I would make a genuine effort not to do so. Because I don't want to hurt an actual person.
The closest you'll come to that.
Comic character, no one gives a shit.
Closest you'll come to that. The closest you'll come to that is Thanatos, which is also a fictional character, technically.
It's a Greek deity, and that's actually kind of what Thanos is named after. It's like saying Hulk instead of Hulk, because that's still technically a proper pronunciation of a U.
I'm going to correct you, sir. Hulk is just Hulk wearing a sombrero.
No, it's Hulk wearing a goofy mask is what it is.
I was thinking like
Hulk
in like a Nord
so
outfit,
you're thinking
like Bjorn and Hulk.
So you're thinking Hulk. You're thinking Hulk with like a HY. I'm thinking Hulk with like an HJ.
Yeah, that's still definitely goofy.
No, it's not. if it's
it'd
HY,
be like instead of Gambit, it's Gamebit, Gamebite, even though there's no E.
Gamebite. That sounds like a whole other character.
Instead of Nightcrawler,
I got my powers from internet gas.
This is
can't believe they actually released that.
This is a stupid fucking fucking disagreement to have, and I'm kind of tired of saying one thing or another. To me, it's stupid that you can't just accept that I say it differently.
I think
To me,
we
it's
should.
stupid that you can't just speak the fucking language properly.
I think we've all had enough internet gas, and we should move on.
What are we moving on to?
All right, well, I mean, I'm pretty much out of things to say
Internet
for Battle Royale, so I'm good with
Yeah, I
ending the
mean,
episode
we were
here.
talking about Destiny and Anthem because we got nothing else to
Yeah,
say pretty much.
because
Yeah,
Battle
so
Royale
I mean, like,
is
it
what
really
it is.
seems like the episode's over because we're arguing over the pronunciation of an A.
Yeah. We've derailed
Man.
massively.
I kept trying to say my thing about Anthem and derailing, but I was gonna say Anthem didn't do what Destiny did. It didn't have that full world. It had a single player campaign. It had no separated multiplayer at all.
Wait,
Single
hang
player
on.
campaign was just play through the campaign, get the story done, and then technically there's a world to go out there and explore, but there's no reason to. There's no content at all. There's no raids, there's no strikes, there's no gear to go get better.
Hold up. You mean Anthem?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the tutorial.
If you learned something, I mean, good for you, I guess.
Fucking A, man. Did you want to say anything else, Dave?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So, Battle Royale, I think it's another stupid multiplayer thing. Yeah.
You're into it. Good for you.
Good for you.
I mean,
enjoy
there's
yourself.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not our cup of tea, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink coffee.
Okay, Starbucks.
You know, if you're gonna come hang out with me today, maybe we should do our best not to just.
Oh, I'm sorry. The difference is we both agree that it's Godzilla and Kong, not Godzilla and I don't fucking know how I would mispronounce that.
The fuck is this episode turned into?
A 30-year-old that doesn't know how to fucking speak English.
This is the
To me, it's like unfathomably stupid. That you can't just be like, whatever, man, you say it different.
I'm just watching two toddlers doing a slap fight. And it's
like, to me, that's just a complete lack of maturity that you can't just be like, whatever, man.
It's like a complete lack of maturity on me that you can't just say it correctly. And you're like, well, this is the way I want to say it, so that's the way I'm going to say it. So it's like the same argument. That's why it becomes a thing.
About this. He's not moving on it. He's never going to move on it.
Yeah.
He's got his opinion.
Yeah.
You're never going to move on it because you have your opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the tutorial.
It's too hard. It's too much work.
Oh my god.
It's too much work to speak properly.
Fucking shit.
You heard it here first.
Oh my god.
We can hash this out some other time.
Mommy and Daddy found they bought one singular pair of thunder sticks, and they've given you each one, and you're just pretending it's a sword fight.
That's not a bad analogy, my dude.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, for real. We should end the episode. I think we've run out. I think we've run out entirely of anything to say.
Officially, this has been the tutorial. If you learned something, why?
Yeah, certainly. Please tell me what you. Please tell me what you've learned
thus far.
Because I've just watched two idiots go back and forth for like half an hour now. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.